Video 7. Video 7. The computation of Africa's debt growth and acceleration using the Isaac Asimov theory of light model. Using the scenario of the Jewish American science fiction writer Isaac Asimov in his book Science, Numbers and I, 1985. He gave the example of a man standing on the ground who fired a stone from his catapult, and the stone was traveling at the rate of 40 kilometers per hour. The first man's stone was traveling at the rate of 40 kilometers per hour. Another man standing on a moving train fires his catapult, whose stone traveled also at 40 kilometers per hour. The train is moving at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour. The total speed of the stone on the man on the moving train adds up to 40 to 40 equals 80 kilometers per hour. Now, if the two men were given torchlights to turn on or switch on at the same time towards a target or to touch a target, the light of the man on the train, according to common sense, is expected to move faster than the light of the man standing on the ground. But according to Isaac Asimov, if the two men are given torchlights to turn on at the same time to touch a target, the light of the man on the train does not travel faster to the target than the light of the man on the ground. Both lights, or the light of the two of them, travel at the same time to the target at the same speed of light. He believed that there is nothing that can travel faster than the speed of light. So you cannot add up the speed of light plus the 40 kilometers of the speed of the train. So the speed of the light of the man standing on the ground and the speed of the light of the man on the moving train travel at the same speed. The conclusion was that the speed of the light of the torchlight of the man on the train cannot run faster than the speed of light of the man on the ground. Both travel at the same speed. For our own use, the man on the ground represents black African nations. He has taken loans. His rate of return or profit level on investment is assumed to be traveling at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour. The man on the train represents the Western creditors. The interest payments on loans lent to African nations is often higher than the profits or returns realized on the use of these loans. Let us assume that the rate of interest payments of creditors is traveling at the rate of 60 kilometers per hour, which, as it is in real life, is faster than the rate of return on investment, which we assume to be 40 kilometers per hour, leading to debt. The interest rate of Western creditors is the moving train, which is traveling at 60 kilometers per hour. The stone from the catapult of the African man standing on the ground is 40 kilometers per hour. This is a disadvantage. Added to the interest rate of the creditor, which is the speed of the train of the Western people, we now add to interest rate devaluation. Apart from interest rate problem, African countries also suffer a devaluation problem. Devaluation happens when exchange rate ratio falls, when the naira is falling and the dollar is rising in value. When the ratio or exchange rate of the dollar against the local currency falls, the amount of debt in local currency rises. Both increases in interest rates and devaluation makes the debt in local currency to rise. This makes the stone of the debt claim This makes the debt claim of the Western creditor to be the double burden of increases in interest rates 60 km per hour and devaluation 40 km per hour, which equals 100 km per hour, relative to the profit or investment returns of African slave states, which are traveling at 40 km per hour. So Africans, they enslave themselves by taking loans. Unable to pay their debts, they are pressurized to sell their national assets, leading to a debt trap. In real or in monetary terms, the total debt is total loan payments of the principal or the money loaned multiplied by interest payments times the exchange rates. We shall discuss this in fuller detail in another chapter. Canaanites have no idea of how to make use of the resources available resources to them by dedicating them to God and using them judiciously to the benefit of their people. The tax revenues and resources of their people are not enough. They always like to incur debts. Their finance ministers tell the people that the debt to GDP ratio is still small compared to developed countries, so therefore they can borrow more. Whereas if these resources have been preyed upon like the flour of Elijah, the oil of Elisha, and the bread and fish of Jesus Christ, the story would have been different. This is how African nations lure themselves into the debt trap. May God help us.